is something that everyone has, but sometimes when there is a desire that is more divisive than necessary, devastation comes after it. This week, Mystery Miners will feature Emperor Huang and his warriors. Enjoy! Most people do not know about Huang, and he was one of China's first emperors until 1974. But with the passing of time, interesting facts about the king began to emerge. To slightly spoil you guys, we found the Terracotta army, each statue looking about the size of a man. The interesting thing is that Terracotta has been missing for more than 2,000 years. But before we get into that, let's go back to the emperor. Many people know that China has a very long history. That is why many historians systematically record dynasties. There is a detailed account of Emperor Huang in the account of historian Sima Chuan. Around 259 BC, there were 6 divisions in China. At that time, a young 13-year-old prince brutally conquered the remaining 5 countries. Later, he graduated with a degree in Huangdi. For short, it is called Huang. After becoming emperor, he unified the divided nations. The rules and regulations are divided into 36 administrative divisions. He ruled with authority. For the mountains, the winding roads were straightened and traffic was improved. For a golden king, it felt like he was a deity. And the young king dreamed of immortality in order to possess his sovereignty forever. Therefore, in the historical record, the task of finding a cure for immortality was given at a cost. His envoys began to search for the answer to immortality using the emperor's money. They lived on an island he found on the way because he could not find any immortal medicine. People say that the king's envoys settled down to the point that the island they lived in became Japan, and they became known as the Japanese people. For the emperor, as the saying goes, the sail is broken, and after the fall of the Immortal Search program, he tried to live a long life by eating mercury on the advice of a court physician. Eventually, he was poisoned by mercury while traveling around the country and died at the age of 50. The emperor actually carefully planned his death. Valuable art items, treasures, etc. were buried together with the emperor himself. It is said that he invested in the Terracotta army for his death as well. The reason is that after the king was buried, he wanted an army to follow him to conquer the heavens. After a mile east of the emperor's tomb, which still stands today, a local man dug a well and discovered a mysterious tunnel. Another discovery came as a shock to Chinese historians. Unable to sit still, they began to dig. The digging eventually led to the discovery of the first warrior of the famous Terracotta army. Quite the find. Real people have even been compared to clay statues by unknown powers. 8,000 statues of soldiers, 130 military trains, 520 war horses, and 150 cavalry were found. But there are 8 types of statues of soldiers, and their faces vary greatly in emotion. The weapons on the statue are real, and they are real combat weapons. The arrows carried by the archers can fire up to 2,600 feet. So why did the glorious king build and bury the human-like Terracotta army? Or what if the king, who could not find a cure for his death, found an even better medicine and went on to conquer heaven according to historical myths? Or were the Terracotta soldiers really protecting the king? To this day, historians around the world are still puzzled as to whether the king's spirit continues to search for immortality with his Terracotta army. If you have any information about Emperor Qingshi Huang and his Terracotta army, please share it in the comments.